Hey guys, it's your girl Keena. Welcome back to my channel. And today is a big day for all us edibles entrepreneurs or infusion enthusiasts like you guys, because our friends at Levo have sent me over their new extra large capacity infuser, and I cannot wait to open it with you guys. Okay, so like I said, in this box here, we have the new Levo C, and I'm super excited. I was trying to wait for y'all to open it, so I did not open it. I just kind of opened the box a little bit, but I did not open it. So we're gonna see what we got in there. Ooh, it's a pretty red box already. I don't know how to get it out, y'all. Hold on. Got it. Let's flip it. Flip it and reverse it. Okay. Oh, how cute. They sent me a red one. Y'all know I had like the black Levo 2 and then I had the red Levo 2, and I gave the black Levo 2 to one of you guys in a giveaway, and then now I have the red Levo C to match my red Levo 2. So this is super cute though. I feel like Levo always come through with the colors. Like if you were a vibrant person, even though my new kitchen is like pretty neutral, it's like definitely adds a pop of color, which I am absolutely here for. So yeah, like I said, it's the new Levo C, and it is just higher capacity. So I know it makes like a liter of oil instead of 2 cups in like the smaller one. So I'm really excited to get this one open. Okay, so let's get this baby open. See what we got. Okay, so first thing I see is instructions. Now, I actually am an instruction kind of girl. Like, I literally do read everything, and I read like the little cookbooks and like recipe guides that come in all my appliances. Like, I have to show y'all a pantry tour one day of all my crazy appliances. It's kind of out of condition. It's out of order. So, but today I'm putting it to the side and I'm gonna see if it really is user friendly, because you know, I think it says like simple to use or something on the box, and I'm like, okay, well if it's simple to use and I already have a Levo 2, like can I figure it out without this? But we will keep these on standby. The part that we're waiting for is the machine. So, so I was like, let me see. Okay, all right. At first, like my first like grab, it's not as heavy, it doesn't seem, as the Levo 2. Like I can really get it, or maybe it's just like the design, because it's kind of like a little bar on top that I can like grab it. But I think y'all remember from the Levo 2 unboxing that I was just like, this is heavy. So, so that one wasn't as bad. I think that's it. Okay, that's it for the box. That's all that's in here. So we'll get rid of you. And now, ooh, it's like Christmas. I'm gonna use some scissors for this tape. Like, let me in. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. I didn't see that part. So y'all probably won't be able to pick this up on camera, but there's like little sparklies in the red. It's not just red, it's like little glitters, I guess I would say. Like, and my countertop is actually very similar. Like, I think on camera it probably just looks like white, but the quartz has like these little speckles of like silver that pop through. So that's cute. All right, yeah, way lighter. Plastic, not great for the environment, but you know, we do our best. Okay, so this is huge compared to already. Like, I should have brought out my Levo 2 so y'all could see like some of the differences. So this is like the base. So I assume this is the part obviously that heats up. It kind of reminds me of like a blender and a coffee pot had a baby, because like this is what the front of like my blender looks like, and then the little heating coil here at the bottom reminds me of like when you sit the coffee pot. And it's like a regular the pot into like the coffee machine. You know, some of us get fancy and get a Keurig like my son, but old school, that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so there's some stuff in here. Ooh, see, I know, y'all already know. Go see the unboxing video of the Levo 2 so y'all can understand, if y'all don't already have it or haven't seen it, like why I'm so excited about like some of these parts. Because I'm like, oh my God, when they said like larger capacity, they were not playing with the Levo C. So I'm gonna show y'all this. Like, you see that? This is the new pod that that the herb goes into, which is crazy, because if you have the other one, it's like this big and you can fit like, I think up to 16 grams, and I've used, I think, up to 14 grams in mine, and I still have to grind it down, the herb, to make all of that fit into it. So this is crazy. Like, this pod can fit up to an ounce of herb, like your dry herb that you're gonna put in here to infuse, and I'm just like living for it, because like, that's crazy. So hopefully y'all can see, like, it's bigger than it's like as big as my hand or bigger than my hand. So yeah, a whole ounce of herb. That's crazy, that's dope. And like I said, from my perspective, like, I make, oh yeah, and then you have the little auger thing. You guys remember that? I don't know if you can see it, but like, y'all will probably remember this from the old one. It's the same thing. So I assume, like the Levo 2, that you put this in the bottom of the actual base, and it'll just like spin around to just like, you know, mix your oil around while it's infusing. So yeah, I'm excited to make more, to have the capacity to make more oil, because y'all know that I do like edibles, infusion parties, I do dinner parties, private events, and I also have an edibles company. So y'all know, like, I'm deep in the edibles, right? So sometimes it's okay to make like a smaller batch of oil if it's for personal use, or if I'm not like making a lot. Also, I try to make my potency stretch, you know, across the menu items. But like, sometimes like somebody will order something big, or someone will want to book an edibles like party, like a big, like a wedding reception or an engagement party or something. There's going to be a lot of people, so it's awesome that I only have to do one run of oil, because I can get like a whole ounce of herb in here. That's crazy. So here for that part. And I like the little hook thing, because in the Levo 2, it's just like this part without this little hook that you can see here, and just kind of have to reach your hand in there, and sometimes it's hot. So shout out to Levo for like making product improvements, because or part improvements, because now I can just like reach in. I mean, I assume this will still be hot, but I just feel like I have better control over it, and it won't be like greasy potentially when I reach in to get it. And like, sometimes this thing is still hot when I make my oil. And the other one, this is just a cute little sign, says Levo C. And okay, so get rid of that. And this is our new basin. That's crazy. Like I said, it does remind you of like a coffee pot, right? Like, especially I don't drink coffee, but what is it called? I used to work at Starbucks back in the day. I forgot what it is. French press. Yes, it reminds me of a French press, where like you make it in like, you know, your little glass container, and then you just make your coffee. So I love this. And then I think what I really got excited about when I was reading about the Levo C before I got it was that this doubles as actually storage. So I don't know about y'all, but like, sometimes it's hard to find something to store your infused oil in, because you don't want like somebody else to use it by mistake, or you don't want it to get thrown out. People think it's like, you know, bacon grease if you're from the South, or you know, you black, if you know, you know. But like your bacon grease, you don't want people to throw it away. So having something that like when I make it, it can just stay in here, and I can just put this little lid on there. Like, I'm here for that part. And just put it in the refrigerator or the cabinet, or however you store your oil. So I'm loving it. Okay, well that's it. I mean, it's so simple. I feel like maybe it feels like it used to be more pieces, but it's pretty simple. I mean, all of this stuff is dishwasher safe. So I'm just like, yeah, it's coming through with like, I can make more, but also it's not as big of a headache. Now, I don't know how to use it yet, because remember, we did not read our little instruction pack, but I'm gonna assume that we can figure it out. Because I know that you can still decarb in the larger model, and then you also just like do your infusion. So I'm pretty interested to see like how this all goes down. And I don't think that there's like a Wi-Fi version. Probably would know if we would have read the instructions, but you know, last time, child, we had an issue with the Wi-Fi. We're trying to connect the Wi-Fi to the Levo 2. So I'm gonna grab some oil and some herb, and we're gonna take this baby for a spin. So let's do it. Okay, so I have actually an entire ounce of herb in this bag. I can smell it already. And I don't feel like grinding this down. So it's gonna be interesting to see that I know that the new pod says that it can take up to 1 ounce of herb. And this is 1 ounce of herb, so we'll see how much can fit in here without me having to grind it down. And then, you know, we'll kind of get an idea that if it doesn't fit all of it, then it means kind of like the other one, that once you grind it down, you can get like way more in there. So let's just try to see. Okay, so I got the whole thing in there. But probably when I got to like 2/3 of it, I had to kind of smush down a little bit. But it really did. It got the whole thing, like the whole bag is in here. So I'm here for that already, because that means that I don't have to grind anything. I can skip a step if I just really want to use it to its full capacity. So I'm gonna put this little lid on top. And I will say something that I noticed when I was about to fill up the pod is like the old pod has this like silicone piece that goes in the bottom of the pod that I think was supposed to be to prevent like scorching of your herbs. So I think it's interesting that it's not in there this time. So I wonder if they have somehow perfected like the bottom of the pod, or have adjusted the heat regulation in the Levo, because they didn't add that that piece. And also like on the inside there's like an extra metal piece that it seems like almost replaces the silicone piece, and this part is like really kind of thick and a little heavier. So maybe they made an adjustment, but that was cool because I'm all for like less pieces, less stuff to clean up. Like I appreciate that it's dishwasher safe, but like, you know, time is of the essence, right? And I think just having less cleanup, less setup is just always, you know, easier. So that part stood out to me. And then, so now because of the little hook, we're gonna just hook this on the side of our basin pitcher. And that was simple and easy. And then I don't even know if you need the lid, because we didn't read the instructions. But but I'm gonna put it on anyway. Okay. So I'm gonna put the lid on, and maybe it'll keep my house from smelling too strong. Now that is something I'm interested in. I don't know if you guys remember the old Levo 2 unboxing video, but I was really impressed at the time that my house did not smell like herb. So this one, I just feel like we probably will get some herb smell just because it's a little bit more open, like the Levo 2 is contained. So it's gonna be interesting to see if this glass container is actually going to kind of like let the smell kind of get all over the house. Because if you live in like an apartment or something, or with parents or whatever, or you just don't like the smell of whatever herb you're using, because you can infuse any kind of herb with the Levos, that's interesting to kind of find out. So yeah, I think from here, we're just gonna go ahead and start the decart process. Now I know something that's different about the Levo C is that it's just a one-touch decarb, which is pretty cool because you have the option to like set your temperature and time on the Levo 2, and typically I usually do about 230 degrees, 240 degrees for 30 minutes. So the fact that they just have like an activate button and you just walk away from it is actually really, really cool. I really feel like Levo thought about people who either make large batches for medicine or people who do this for a living, and they, you know, infuse herbs and then they, you know, make edibles, because there's just a lot less steps, it seems, a lot less pieces, a lot less steps, and he gets to make more, which is pretty cool so far. So, but I am nervous a little bit about the smell. So, okay, so I have the machine here, and I'm gonna remove my little auger, and I'm just gonna sit it on here. Remember guys, don't touch this little black thing in the middle, because like I said, like a coffee pot, that's the part that gets hot, so don't touch it. And then Levo must have knew that we weren't gonna read the instructions, because there was this little sticker that was on the front of the machine that like basically gives you like the quick version of the instructions, and I was like, oh, they know us so well. So it just says power it on, and like the little power switch is here on the side, and then tap any button to wake up the screen, and then hit activate. Select activate and then tap start. So the start looks like a little play button, like play pause. So Okay, that seems easy enough. They knew we weren't gonna read their booklet, so they hooked us up. So I'm gonna start the decard process, and I'll see y'all back here in like probably 30 minutes if it's, you know, but it's automated, so we're gonna see how that works. Okay, so the decard cycle is complete, and what I noticed was a couple things. First, the default setting for decarb, aka activate, is 45 minutes at 240 degrees, which is longer than I typically would decarb by hand, but that's cool. If everything still works out, then it's all good. And y'all know I was concerned about the smell. I honestly don't smell anything. So that's kind of crazy because it's made of glass, and then there's like a little space here where the hook for the basket is in, so then that's leaving like a tiny little window that maybe like smell could like escape from, and I don't smell anything. Like I had to literally put my face up to the little open window, and then I did smell it, but like in my house and in my kitchen, I don't smell anything. So I'm really surprised. I was a little bit cautious about whether or not I was going to be able to smell anything, and I don't. So that's cool. So now we're just going to go ahead and make some oil. Levo did send me these protective mats, which is super cool because I am really trying to protect my brand new countertops. So bam. So then you just use these to sit your basin on. I'm gonna use the pink one, and so that just protects like any surface that you have. So you just use these because, you know, silicone is heat safe. And then just be careful when you grab it. Like the handle should be fine, the lid should be fine, but the glass is definitely going to be hot, and then you know that base is going to be hot. So just be careful when you take it off. So right now, I'm just going to take this off. I assume the smell is going to hit me when I take this lid off though. Oh yeah. Yup, it's in there. so yeah, it means it did a great job of keeping the smell in, because as soon as I took the lid off, okay. So now I'm gonna put our little twisty thing in there. I'm sure it has a name, but basically it just like moves inside of the container, just like the other Levo, and it just helps mix the oil. So I'm gonna drop that in there. I'm trying to be careful. I might have to get like a spoon because I know it's hot, so I'm trying to be careful. I think a chopstick will work, okay? So I just don't want to burn my hand. I'm so prone to burning myself whenever I cook, like, period. So yeah, that's in there. Let me see. Actually, the glass is warm. It's actually not hot. So that's pretty cool. I did walk away, so I don't know how long it set before I came back, but that's cool. And then I'm gonna be using coconut oil. I pretty much always make coconut oil when I'm infusing. I rarely do butter anymore, just because butter requires refrigeration, and before the Levo, the way that I like to make butter is with the water, like mixed in with water, just to make it a cleaner butter, and it doesn't turn green and all that kind of stuff, and you really get like a clean butter. So I just stopped making butter unless I absolutely need it for something that is buttery in terms of a recipe. So I always use coconut oil anyway, or I use MCT oil, which is derived from coconut oil. But I wasn't expecting Levo makes their own oil, or at the very least they package their own coconut oil. So they sent me this Levo coconut oil, which I'm here for. It is virgin, it's organic, which I love, but it's virgin unrefined. Typically I would use refined coconut oil versus unrefined, because refined oil, even though it's processed, it is basically flavorless and odorless. So it really does work no matter what you're making. Whereas when you use the virgin unrefined, even though it's not processed or it's minimally processed, it does still taste and smell like coconut for the most part. So if you're making something that that flavor doesn't marry with, then you're kind of like, ugh, I don't want to use my infusion. So that's just something to think about. But it's all good. So this whole jar is 29 ounces, which is a whole lot of oil. And like we talked about at the beginning, the new Levo C that has the larger capacity, which we can 100% see, it can use up to, I believe, a liter. And a liter is like 32-ish ounces. liquid ounces. So that's crazy. Like I can take this whole thing and I can just dump it in here and I can make a batch of oil, whereas before I would only be able to use 2 cups of oil when I was using like the Levo 2. So that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna, and it makes it just easier for me. I don't have to store anything extra, or you can use this jar to store your oil after you make it, because you're gonna empty the entire jar, which I really like. So we're reusing plastic and stuff like that. Or remember we talked about that this actually can be used for storage too, because it's glass. So you just put the lid on it and then you'll be able to store your oil. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. Okay, so something I noticed is there is a minimum line, and it's about right here, for the least amount of oil you can use in this big container to make. And then the max line is actually on the inside of the pitcher, and it's like here. So it's, yeah, about midway through where the silver band is. That's the max line. So you can totally make way more. But like I said, this is only 29 fluid ounces, and it can make like 32, 33 ounces. So there's still some room left in here for me. I'm gonna put the lid back on here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the Levo. So you can still make your own or set your own time and temperature for the actual infusion, which we couldn't do for the decarb. I typically like to do about 175 degrees for coconut oil, and I go for 3 hours, but some people go 4 or 6 hours. It's really kind of depending on the person and how much they perceive is going to actually be extracted, but I find that 3 hours is just enough time to infuse oil. So I'm gonna just put this on here and set it to 175, 3 hours. Okay, so we are back after 3 long hours. Our infusion is done. You see that it's turned from clear to this kind of amber green color, so it's complete. I actually found this extremely easy to do. I don't know if I would say easier than the Levo 2, but I like this way a little bit better. Also, like the kid in me and the science nerd in me really enjoyed the clear container this time around, because I was able to watch the auger kind of spin the oil around when I walk past the kitchen, and then I could see that it start to turn from clear to amber. So I just like that. It's kind of cool, because I think in the Levo 2 you don't get to see what's happening. You just wait and then you dispense it. So I thought that was pretty cool that that I got to see what was kind of going on inside of the appliance. So that was nice. Now that it's done, it just kind of just reads complete on the front, and I can just take it off. And I've had, it's cool, probably, yeah, it's cooled down now a little bit, so I don't need the little silicone mat that they sent to me. And then, like I said, this can be used as a storage device. So if you were going to use this for storage, you would just lift the little pod thing out, and you would be able to keep it like that. Just leave the oil in there, or you can pour it into a separate container. Now I'm going to actually pour it into the same container that the Levo oil came in, because that way I can remember, you know, what oil I made, and then I can just write like a magic marker on the lid, and it's disposable, like maybe what strain it was, and like the potency and stuff like that right on top of the lid, and I don't have to try to remember it when I store it away. So I'm going to actually end up pouring it away into this container. I'm gonna put this back on just so I don't make a mess, because I'm known to spill. But yeah, I really found that to be super, super easy. I think if you are an edibles entrepreneur like myself, or you are a person who prefers to make large batches of your oil at a time, then you would really like this. Like, I enjoyed how easy it was. And I mean, oh, I don't know if y'all can see that, but the auger literally came through the hole and it fell inside of the container. So I'm gonna have fun fishing that out later. But I think that was great. Like, the fact that it was like super easy to do, but I was able to make that much was pretty dope. I never smelled anything throughout the entire process, and it made it super easy for me. So I'm not about to measure the potency on this video, but I do have the T-Check expansion pack, and you know, with the expansion pack you can measure for THCA, THC, and CBD, and this is a CBG dominant strain that I used in this one. So I don't know if the expansion pack will for what is it called for T-Check will pick up on CBG, but it would be cool to find out. So if y'all want to see me test this batch that we made together with the new Levo for potency, then just let me know, and I'll do another video to show you guys kind of what the potency came out to be using the T-Check. But yeah, that was super cool, super easy, and I enjoyed myself. So I will be, like I said, putting this away after I fish that thing that thing out of there, and like I said, I'll be happy to test the potency for you guys if that is something that you're interested in. Shout out to my friends at Levo. They always send us the most fun and cool gadgets. I actually saw, I don't know if it's a Levo thing, but I saw like a gummy maker or something on, I think, Instagram. If that's real, they're gonna have to send me that, because we're gonna have to test that out. It looked really cool, but I don't know if it was their product or not. But other than that, that is it, and that is all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you for joining me in my new kitchen, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.